What you're about to watch is the Nerdiest After Show, which was our Patreon exclusive show that we did a few years back. And while we don't have Patreon anymore, we felt like the content was still really solid and wanted to share it with you for free on YouTube. So grab your popcorn. We hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest After Show, the show after the show that where nerds talk about nerdy things. That tagline is a little hard to say 5 times fast, but thank you so much for joining us. If you're here, then you are on our paid Spotify tier, and we really appreciate your patronage and your help and your support of the show. And that's why we make this extra bonus show for you, where we're on the Nerdiest After Show. Our movie club is taking off, and we're very excited to be back here talking about the Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir movie. Now, where was this on your ranking last year?
Number 4.
Number 4. Now, there is a reason we chose this movie, okay? So, well, not we, Nick chose this movie.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So, if you're new to the movie club, we take turns every month choosing a movie that the other person hasn't seen to make them watch, and then we talk about it and have that conversation. So, the first pick was mine, and I chose Tropic Thunder just to be a terrible person because I knew that Nick would hate it, and I knew this. So, not thinking that he could retaliate and choose an equally as insulting movie. And he was just mad that I've been clowning this movie for like a year he had it so high on his ranking for last year, and I would clown it really hard. And he was like, no, you're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. And that was not on the radar of what this movie club could be, is making each other watch movies you know you're going to hate.
But now it is.
Here it is.
So you'll pick a little more wisely in the future.
I'm just going to say game on. At the end of this episode, we will be revealing what our next episode next month is going to be and what movie we're going to be talking about, so that you can have time to watch it and then also share your thoughts. And we want to hear from you, and you just get to follow along with us, and it's a fun little community thing. So, the Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir movie is on Netflix. And I want to hear your kind of experience with the movie, talking about it, and kind of like give me a little context before we kind of dive in.
Okay, so for way back context, I've been getting dogged on for liking this franchise for years. I'm no stranger to getting mocked for liking Miraculous Ladybug. It's fine. But the show itself is legitimately mid. Like, it's all right.
Right.
It's definitely a kid's show, and it knows that, but it also knows it has, like, a substantial adult audience. Or, well, I shouldn't say adult. Like, young adult teen audience. Like, it understands that. It's just got a lot of issues. And it's fun. Yeah. It's kind of like, I'll turn it on and watch it in the background because it's fun to just kind of, like, see how wacky it's going to get. And, like, I used to listen to a podcast where their metric of what made an episode good or bad was whether or not the Eiffel Tower fell down and got fixed, because it legitimately became such a frequent thing that the Eiffel Tower, like, it was just another everyday thing. Like, oh, there goes Eiffel Tower. Okay, got to fix it again.
Yep.
So when they announced they were doing a movie, I was kind of at first drawn in by the animation. I was like, wow, this looks much better than the TV show. Like, and now being on the other side of it, I don't know if I can ever go back to watching the TV show, for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
This is a very, and maybe this encapsulates your experience with it, because you've never watched the show, but it's kind of similar. It's kind of like a Sword Art Online to Sword Art Online progressive type thing, where they make a movie later on, and it resolves 90% of the issues you had with the original piece of media, and you're like, can I ever go back to the original media?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I
can. I understand.
So I watched it last year. It came in at a very, very crucial time for me, because we had just gone on strike. Hollywood was dying, and everyone was like, well, that's good. Not a lot of good movies last year up to that point. And I was like, man, all hope is lost. Nye, The Miraculous Ladybug movie comes out of nowhere to restore my faith in films.
Oh, my God.
Top 4 of the year. That's the pipeline. That's the pipeline.
I don't think anyone has ever said the sentence, the Miraculous Ladybug movie comes in to restore my faith in film. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so...
Yeah. So, I thought it was really good. And I
So-
suggested it to Jackson because I want him to stop. And I just want you to know that, like, I've got a list. So we can... If you pick a movie that I don't like, we can keep slugging it out on bad movies all year. I don't care. If you thought I went low with this, I can go worse.
He said, I can go lower.
I
Don't
can
think I
go
can't
lower.
go lower.
Watch
See,
me.
here's the thing, and this is a little teaser to keep you at the end. The movie that I'm going to choose, I think you're going to like it more than you think you will.
You're probably right.
That's my theory. So,
I'm just saying. I think you liked this movie a lot more than you thought you were going to. Does that mean you
So-
thought it was good? Not necessarily. I just think you don't think it's as bad as you thought it was going to be.
So when you put this movie in your top 5 for the year last year, I clowned you really hard
You sure did.
because I was thinking, why is there a little girl movie in his top 5, like of all, like for the year, like compared to other movies from the year, right? And after watching it, now that I have seen said little girl movie, TBH, I kind of mess with it. I ain't even gonna lie. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Listen.
I'm saying.
Here's
it
the
wasn't
thing.
that bad.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. And I found a really good Letterboxd review for this movie. This says 3 stars. It says, "Can't let the gang know I frig with this movie." Here's the thing. It is a very simple family movie. Like
Yeah.
it's not trying to change the world. It's very small town girl living in a lonely world. Oh, I'm a superhero now. Oh, there's a boy. Oh, the villain is the boy's dad. This and that. Like, it's a little like, it's like an hour, 45 minute, just a little something for the kids, little something. And I think what was interesting is I went into it with a lens. I went in thinking I was not going to like it. So my first 2 notes was, I didn't take a lot of notes because I watched this late at night and kind of gave up and didn't want to be on my phone anymore. And so I took like 5 notes. And the first note was, I said 2 minutes in and I already hate the voice acting. I went in, I was like, this is going to be garbage. Like, I don't like this. And then I wrote down a dialogue line I thought was dumb. And I said, how do I make my dreams come true? She said, just believe in yourself. And I was like, this is corny, freaking, I can't do this. And then the first song started. And that's what flipped in my mind that this would not be that bad. I wrote down, I said, still better music than Wish.
Dude,
This
when
movie-
I told you this movie Disney'd better than modern Disney movies, this is what I meant.
Disney's harder than Disney. My other note is the quips are constant. There is not a line in this movie that is not a quip. And I can't say I'm mad, but also there was a point where I was just legitimately impressed. I was like, how did you write this long of
You
a
write
movie
an
off
hour
of
45 worth of
100% quips? Like, Marvel just like is shaking
Is
in their boots
salivating
from
right now.
this
They're like,
movie.
It's possible.
It's possible.
We can do it.
He's right behind me, isn't he? So I also wrote the mime villains are actually kind of dope, and that is the extent of the notes that I took on this movie, because I legitimately was like, oh, let's just have fun. Like, it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to say, because I'm listening to this soundtrack while we're recording this, and my favorite song just came on. My favorite song just came on. My favorite song in this whole movie is "You Are Ladybug," which is early on in the movie to have a favorite song. But I was like, low-key, I was literally in bed, and I was watching this movie on the TV, and I was like laying down, and I was like, okay, yeah, like, this is good. And then "You Are Ladybug" came on, and I was like, like, I feel like I need to make one of those dance edits of like the dude with the Beyblade, and he's like, it's like, "You are Ladybug," and I was like, why does this go crazy? This is a freaking like family movie on Netflix. Like, I don't know, this goes kind of hard. So I don't know, it exceeded my expectation. That being said, I'm gonna say maybe 3 stars.
Okay.
It's not a bad movie. I enjoyed the movie.
I'll take
It's
that.
not like, but I'm not gonna say that it's a cinematic masterpiece. But if my little cousins had it on, I would watch it. And I'd like, if my family wanted to watch it, I'd turn it on, and we'd hang out and watch it. So that's what I'm at.
I'll take that. It's better than I thought I was going to get.
Yeah.
But also, something we have to keep in mind is we're definitely not the target audience here.
No. That's why this is such a weird conversation.
That's why it's like, you can only like it to a certain extent. I'm a little biased. And I feel like if you had suffered through the show as I have, you would rank it a little higher, because that extra like 1.5 stars for me is better than the show. Like, leaps and bounds. I will say, this movie has the unparalleled ability that I have not seen in many movies to keep me off my phone. Because like, watching Tropic Thunder, I was like scrolling through my phone while watching.
Right.
Watching the Star Wars movies, I was like, whatever. I was trying to tweet something last night, and I kept getting distracted because I was getting sucked into the movie. And at a point, I was like, I paused it, and I was like, let me finish this tweet, put my phone down. I didn't touch it for the remaining 1.5 hours. And that's so rare for me, that I was just like locked in the whole time. Now, I know we've had this conversation before. I think it's just because I'm legitimately a child. I don't think I ever got out of that. Yeah. And like, my coworkers poke fun at me because they're like, you have a Star Wars comforter on your bed. You like, every time we go to Publix to get lunch, I will pole vault over the little things, like the metal things to keep you from like driving your car up there. I'll just jump over it. And they're like, you are like 5. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm having fun. I'm happy. Yeah. What? I don't know what you want from me. It's not that big a deal. It's not that deep, brother. So what I think about this movie is it like hits on that perfectly of like what you said earlier. Of it's a very simple, very straightforward. You don't have to overthink anything. It's just fun. And that's the kind of media I like. Is where it is just like, just have fun. Just turn your brain off for 1:45. Chill, relax. Don't think too deep. Don't worry about what's going on around you. Like, it's perfect escapist media. That's why this very quickly made my list of comfort movies, because it's just an escapist. Like, just get out of it.
It is a really good escape. I understand the escapist side of it, and what I really appreciated was just, it was in a world. I think that I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. I think this is a pretentious film bro's worst nightmare, because they are fighting so hard to pretend that they don't like it. And it's like I can't just like something because it's funny. I have to.
What's the societal meaning here?
Why isn't there? And it's just kind of like
embrace it. Let it go.
It's literally just for fun. It's for giggles.
Have fun.
And it was an escape. I'll appreciate that. I love Paris, bro. I freaking love like movies that take place in Paris.
I forgot that would be a factor for you.
And it was
Let's
yeah.
go.
The freaking like they're like at the fair and I'm like, ooh, bonjour. Like, and then they like, of course her family runs a little bakery. Like, of course they do. It's Paris. And I'm just like, that's funny. I felt this a couple weeks ago when I watched the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. I think that and maybe this is just as a society, we are like shifting and like kind of getting like kids are different than they used to be, you know? Like social media has made it hard to portray kids in media because it's like no one really knows what's going on. And it's so, I really like almost like a 80s, 90s depiction of like school, where it's like you have your popular kids, you have your jocks, you have like the school bully and the nerds, and new kid at the school, like, ooh, I don't know, this is kind of awkward. And so like I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of that recently because it's just kind of like it's hard to explain, but I really like the simplicity of that. Like, it doesn't have to be this super gritty, realistic depiction of childhood and this and that. And it's like, no, we just want to have fun. And that's also what kids want, because the target demographic for this movie is kids. And so, you know, these kids have like real issues to deal with at school. And when you not minimize, but when you bring it down to the point where it's just fun, no one has to take it too seriously. And I really appreciate that. We haven't gotten that in a lot of movies in a long time. And that being said, it's very predictable. It's very
duh.
Well, yeah, that's the point. The point is it's very predictable. Like, you know what's going to happen. And it's like, how do you not know that this dude is the dude? Like, it's obviously him. Like, it's kind of like Clark Kent puts on glasses and no one knows he's Superman. And so it's just kind of like, all right, guys, like, cut the crap. Like, you know it's him, right? Like, come on. But they don't. And so in that way, I'm like, as the adult, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, of course you know it's him. Like, but also, that's the point, is to turn off the logical part of your brain and just be like, oh, it's fine. This is fine. We're fine. So,
yeah. I think what I'm really interested to talk about here is the dichotomy between someone who has seen the show and how that influences my opinion on the movie and someone who hasn't. So, as someone who's never seen the show, did this movie make sense without any pre-context about it whatsoever?
I think it made sense. There was nothing in it that I did not understand. Which is part of the reason it's not like 5-star, you know? Like, it's just what you're given is what it is. Like, right. It's very face value. But there was nothing in it that I felt like I was like, oh, like I didn't feel isolated by not knowing the show.
Yeah. Good.
And so
I think that was their intention. Because it is a very good, like, jumping in point. But the problem is...
Yeah.
You can't go watch the show after watching this movie.
Because you're like, oh.
So, like, there was the reveal at the end of, like, oh, she's Ladybug, he's Cat Noir, and now they know. Yeah, it took us 5 seasons to get there. And, like, 8 years. So if you go start the show at episode 1, you got some legwork before you get to the end of the movie.
5 seasons. Well, are they making more movies?
Yeah, they're making another movie, but the show is also continuing. So like
Okay.
season 6 is happening. I haven't watched
Yeah.
season 5 because it's on Disney Plus now
Yeah.
instead
You're
of
just like,
Netflix, and I'm like, it's whatever.
Yeah,
I've
it's
vaguely
not worth it.
followed and like know what happens.
Yeah.
But what's so interesting is the direction they took, not only to do the identity reveal, which before was such a big deal in the
Yeah.
show, of
And now
like
it's
you
like,
can't reveal your
ooh.
identity because then Hawkmoth will know, and then he could exploit that.
I guess.
And then at the end of this movie, they're like, yeah, he's the bad guy, and now he's evil, and now their
Yeah.
identities are revealed, which is two things that took 5 seasons to get to in the show.
But also, if you think about like the pacing of the movie,
It is very fast.
it is very fast.
There's a lot of
movie.
montages.
There's a lot of like. Granted, it's a kids movie.
It's an hour and 45 minute
It's
kids movie.
It's an hour 45. That is what I did. What I did appreciate about you picking this one was I was like, bet I can watch like this super chill animated movie
Yeah.
that's like an hour and a half long.
And it's not like a 2.5 hour long.
right
movie?
like
Yeah.
epic. You're not like so.
It didn't feel that long when I watched it last night. Legitimately.
No,
Like
it doesn't.
was super chill. I just enjoyed it, man. It was
Yeah, it's just fun,
so
and
fun.
you know, I appreciate that. And okay, looking at IMDb, this said the worldwide gross was $40 million. Where did that come from?
Maybe
Did this ever go
it
to
might have
theaters?
released in theaters in Paris.
Is this a French studio?
Yeah. The whole show
Okay,
is French.
So this is like a French movie, like
Yes. It's not American.
okay.
It's dubbed in
Wow.
English. That's another thing is the show, the lip flaps are always off. Because there's such a huge difference
Really?
between French and English.
Interesting.
But in the movie, they did a much better job of matching the lip flaps to the English. I don't know if they went off the English to start with,
yeah,
which would make sense because all of the songs are in English.
yeah.
And they were very intentional about that.
That's so interesting.
But yeah, it's a French show made by French people. This is a one good thing France has contributed to society.
Right. This is our only good French.
I don't like
thing.
I don't like the French as much as the next guy, but I'll give him a pass for Miraculous. Like
Okay, you know what's
redemption
so,
there.
You know what's crazy too? I did not realize this. The director of this movie is also the the producer of the show. Okay, so he was the producer and executive producer on the movie, and he is on the show, and he only makes like other kids shows in a similar vein.
Yeah, he's hit
And
his
he-
niche, and he does what he does pretty
Yeah.
well.
He is an award-winning producer, director, and music composer. He composed the score for this movie,
Yeah.
even though he is the director.
Yeah.
That's actually really baller.
Jeremy Zag's
What
a
is-
wild dude.
What's he doing making these movies? Like,
Bank. What do you mean?
that's so true.
Kids media
Apparently
is the
80
most
million.
profitable area.
That's so true.
Like,
He looks like a good dude.
let's be real.
I follow him on Instagram.
I'm
I
just
found
worried.
his Instagram. So
They're making a sequel to this movie, and I'm worried it's going to take them like another 10 years. Because this movie's been in
Oh,
development since like
yeah.
2016. And it just came out last year. It was in development
He-
hell for a long time.
Okay, interesting. I'm just going through his Instagram now. Apparently, it was eligible for an Oscar.
And they didn't give. Of course,
they
they
didn't
The
give it to
Oscars is
him.
dumb. Best international film. France.
see-
Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. The movie.
See this, but see he like posted when his movie was like #1 on Netflix, and he posted and said, "I can't believe it." Crying, praying hand emoji, heart emoji. Like he just seems like a really cool guy, you know? Like
I don't think anyone thought this movie was going to get to #1 on Netflix.
no.
Miraculous is popular, but like not
Right.
That popular.
Not like number one popular.
Especially
because
stateside.
Netflix,
Like France, that's a different story. Stateside, I don't know.
See, I thought it just took place in France. I didn't realize it was French.
No, it's French. It was actually supposed to be an anime. But the anime found it very hard to do the spots on her outfit in hand-drawn, which is valid.
That makes sense.
That is a lot to move around and redraw for every frame. So that's why it's a 3D CG animated
Interesting.
thing. It was just going to be too expensive.
The animation. I did not hate the animation.
Oh, you'll hate the animation of the show, I'll tell you that.
Oh, let's go. See, the only experience I've ever had with the show is one time it was on one of the 6 TVs they have at the wall where I go get my hair cut. And one time I saw like 10 minutes of one episode on mute. And I was kind of locked in because I was like, I've heard of this.
New series, guys. Like, we're going to go through every episode of Miraculous with Jackson.
But on mute.
On mute. No audio.
You can't. On mute.
No subtitles either. You just have to.
We'll be watching it in French.
Another thing I really enjoyed about this movie is it felt like it took advantage of being an animated movie.
Right. It actually did. Like Disney would never.
Full use of the medium and didn't feel like it needed to be in live action.
No. And it could have been in live action, but it would have been weird, you know? Like the animation was
I don't know if I want to see a woman in a spandex Ladybug suit in live action.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those things that's like the costumes are wacky, but it makes sense animated because you can kind of like it's whatever. It's kind of like anime. Like anime costumes don't make sense
goofy.
in real life,
right?
But in their universe, it's like it's whatever
because they're like so crazy and goofy, and you're like, you would never wear that to the store, like you. Right. But I don't know. I agree. I liked the animation style wasn't bad. It was very Netflix though. Like I could be like, yeah, this is a Netflix original movie, you know?
What do you mean by that?
It felt very Netflix.
What does that mean?
Know, there's this I got to look up other animation.
I'm not understanding because this wasn't originally a Netflix movie. It was intended to go to theaters worldwide, and then Netflix paid a butt ton of money and took it.
See, I just think that Netflix has a style in like that really clean, like 3D animation.
Oh, that's.
But
what
it's also not high enough poly to be like there's not like super detailed, but it's not like undetailed enough to be a style, an intentional choice. You know, like that kind of middle ground, not uncanny valley, but like the middle ground between really high quality and bad. Yeah. It's like good. It's watchable, but it's not like groundbreaking. But I will say what they used it for was actually good. And my favorite scene in the whole movie is the mime fight. I think the mime villains were so cool because you were filling in the blanks of what they were doing like a mime would, which makes sense because they're in Paris. It wasn't like this just random mime villain. It was like, why are you here? It was like actually kind of cool. I was like, yeah, this is good. But I will say what I didn't expect was there was a lot more lore than I expected. I don't know how to feel about that. I think that I don't know. It was just it was a lot more mystical than I thought it was going to be. I thought she was just straight up a ladybug. Like,
no. The show has like 70 layers deep of lore.
Why?
Because I think the creator wanted to not make a kid's show.
Yeah.
But then it was one of those he was trying to make an anime to hit more of the broad demographic. But when that didn't work, and he was like, "You can have a kids show, though," he was like, "Okay, let's make a really good kids show then." But then kept all of the lore of an like teenage young adult anime.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, there's the creation and destruction, the ladybug and the cat, and if you combine them, you can like wish for whatever. Something the movie doesn't mention though is that like you probably will end up destroying the world in the process.
Yeah,
because there is like an equivalent exchange of like give and take.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So there's that. And then there's also like deep lore for the other 20 Miraculous that exist. Of like the intricacies of what each power can do. And like as you go on in the show, they find like these weird wacky combinations of like, if I do this one and use this ability and then take it off and do a different one, the first one will be recharged so I can do it again when I finish with the second one. And like it's like playing a video game and learning how to use all of your abilities.
Yeah.
Frame perfect. It's insane. And there's all this lore with like the old man is a guardian, but there's like worldwide guardians and there's a group of them. And like there's so many it's such a lore heavy series, and I'm shocked they were able to trim the fat enough to fit in this movie.
Well, it was kind of like it was a quick, I don't know. They just needed a quick explanation of like, okay, she's just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Like, how does she become a superhero? You know,
right.
Like you can't just like know how to fight like out of nowhere. You can't do like I thought they were going to do more of like a Spider-Man thing where it was like, oh, she's just a normal girl and
gets bit by a radioactive
ladybug, and you know, or like, I don't know, he could get bit by a cat and it's just like, now I'm Catman, and it's just like, okay, buddy.
I like that he's so authentically 15.
Yeah.
Like they nailed that.
He's a jerk.
He is, but he's also like super flirty.
Yep.
And just much like Kirito in SAO Progressive is so like down bad that it's accurate.
Yeah.
And authentically his
but
age.
I'm like kind of mad because I'm like, that's stupid, but also I think I'm mad because it's true. I'm like, this was when I was 15. This was exactly what it was like. And you're like, yep. 15-year-olds are like this. And, you know, good on them for accurately portraying that. And I think, like, you know, he had a lot of character development. Like, that was the point, was he was chaos. Like, I really liked the point of, and this is kind of what we talked about with Star Wars recently, is the guy was like, balance does not mean only good. He was like, to balance out this like lore thing, you need the chaotic one too.
Right.
Like you need both. Like you need him, because when you're together, you're actually better together. And I was like, all right, buddy. But yeah, no, I actually really like that part of the lore. I think them together, I don't know. They're good characters. They're not like super three-dimensional, but like, you know, it's just for giggles. It's a giggle movie.
And that is one area where I think the movie, because like obviously in a show, you're going to have so much more time to flesh everything out and build out that character. And it does feel a lot better. Whereas a lot of the relationship got off-screened or was part of a montage. Like, you see a lot of her interacting with him at school and, like, outside of school, but it's in a montage. And it's, like, these flashes of scenes that in the show would have been full half of an episode.
You know, full episodes, yeah.
So, that is one pitfall of bringing it into a movie, and I think they did the best they could. Because I was still engaged. I was like, yeah, I mean, this makes sense.
I still didn't, like, deny, and I think the music helped that a lot. Like, when they sing together, it was really sweet.
I was going to ask,
like, yeah, this is good.
How you felt about it being a musical? Because I don't think I told you anything about that.
No, I didn't know that it was going to be a musical. But here's the other thing. Nothing hurts more than a bad musical, because if you're watching a bad musical, you are in so much pain. You're like, this, no, it hurts. When you're watching a good musical, it makes the time go by faster in a good way. It's very much like, oh, that was it? Like, I could have kept going. Like, I would have watched 20 more minutes. But the music was actually legitimately really good, and so I didn't mind it at all. I will never be mad when there's good music in a movie.
Yeah.
And I felt like it worked. Like, it really, like, I think you hit the nail on the head when it, like, they out Disney'd Disney. Like, it's a better representation of a classic Disney movie than most of what Disney has done recently. And it's like, yeah, they hit that nail on the head. What I do think could have made it better, I think it was just a time thing. Like, they didn't want to spend like an hour diving deep into like each character and this and that. Maybe they'll make more movies. I don't know. It's hard because the show had so much to go off of. Mm-hmm. I think the characters could have been a lot deeper. I think it could have taken itself more seriously and still done really well, because it was like, it's a fun, goofy, haha movie, but it's not a 5-star, you know? Where I think they had the content and the potential to go for the full Pixar tearjerker movie that was like, wow, actually like legitimately good. Not just turn off your brain good, but legitimately good.
Yeah, and I think they tried to get there somewhere with like the family subplot of like Gabriel being really, oh, I'm like so depressed and like shut off because my wife died, and that's causing a rift between him and Adrian, and like they've never really been able to find that, and there was a lot more potential there, and I don't think the show really takes full advantage of it either, at least in my opinion. But there was an attempt. If they could have woven that narrative a little more into the whole movie instead of just like bits and pieces here and there, you probably would have had your Pixar tearjerker at the end. Mm-hmm. And you could have brought it full circle with that.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yeah.
How'd you feel
more potential.
How'd you feel about the dead wife garden
at the end? Oh my gosh. I was going to bring that up. I literally, I was about to go to bed because what happened was I watched this movie really late. It ended at 12:30.
Hey, same.
And so, hey, let's go. My intention was, okay, movie ends, TV goes off, I go to sleep, right? So I'm watching the end, yeah, okay. I'm about to grab the remote when it comes back. I'm like, oh, cool, post-credit scene, whatever. And then it does that scene, and I'm literally, my jaw hit the floor. I went, I was just shocked, and I was because when I was watching, that was honestly kind of the selling point, was I was I could clown the movie all I want, this and that, but also now I want to watch what happens next.
Right.
I'm in now, but that last scene was whoa, hold it, wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
He's in jail, but he's got a plan, I guess.
Wait. It was that was just, that freaking blew my mind. I was she said she was dead.
As a Miraculous fan, the next, parts of the show and the movie are going to be the most interesting, because for the first time since the conception of this series, we're moving into an era where their secret identities are known amongst them.
Okay.
And in the show, they got the reveal. And we're ready to move forward. In the movie, we got the reveal. How does this impact a second movie?
Yeah.
So I genuinely don't know how the character dynamic changes at all and where we go from here. But it's interesting, and I'm looking forward to it when the movie comes out.
I'm looking forward to it.
2037.
Maybe my kids get to watch the second one.
My kids can watch the second movie when I'm on my deathbed.
Hooray! And then bring me back because they miss me so much.
Yep, they'll get the Miraculous, and then
Aw.
they'll bring me back, and the world will end.
See? So yeah, general consensus, don't knock it till you try it. I was pleasantly surprised.
I'm telling
it is a
you.
fun watch.
When have I ever steered you wrong on a movie recommendation?
Sword Art Online.
That's fair. That's fair. We disagree, but that's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, what? That's one
You're
bad
still-
out of like 10 good recommendations?
So
pretty
so,
good.
yeah.
Pass fail.
So that's cool. Yeah. So, general consensus: don't knock it till you try it. It's a fun movie, but it's not much else. You know, it's a goofy, fun time that I enjoyed, but it's not much else. If you're looking for a really like deep, serious commentary film, it's not this one. But if you want to have a good time, just turn on something fun, something for the kids, something the whole family can enjoy. Put it on.
For all
It's
the
a great
American
choice.
viewers
Good
out
choice.
there, it's a movie that will entertain you above all else and not try to give you an agenda. And that is another reason I appreciate it. Because that ties into the fun part, but also it's just meant to entertain you. And it's just meant to entertain kids. Like, that's all it is. It ain't much deeper than that. And we need more of that in today's society. Because it's called entertainment for a reason.
Entertainment. All right, guys. You know
All
what
right,
time
what am I
it is.
watching?
So
I gave you a good one. So, like,
you did give me a good one. I'm going to give you what I consider to be a good one.
okay.
This was a couple years ago. This was my top movie of the year. And it's a movie that you haven't seen. And when
Oh,
you
I think I
first
know what it
hear
is.
it, you're going to be like, oh, I don't know. But I think there was a lot of really good commentary that you will agree with. And that's why I chose Jordan Peele's Nope as our
as
next
soon as
film.
you said top and I haven't seen it, I was like, let me think.
See, I chose Nope because it was my. Let me look. I think I'm looking.
It
at
was
the
your
ranked.
number one in 2022 to my Sonic 2 as number one.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember that.
As you notice who picks what movie, you realize our tastes because I've chosen Tropic Thunder and Nope, and you
Miraculous
chose
Ladybug.
Miraculous Ladybug. Here's the thing. The entire point of the movie is literally the consequences of trying to make content out of life. So,
Okay.
I think you're going to enjoy it more than you think you will. So, that being said, tune in next month to the Nerdiest After Show where we will be reviewing Jordan Peele's Nope. Unless you have anything else to add, I think we're ready to wrap up. So,
Nope.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Nerdiest After Show. Thank you for your patronage and your support of the show. It really helps us keep going because this is an independent production. The whole podcast is run by us. We promote everything and Nick edits all our episodes and we got to plan everything and it's just really great to have the support because it helps us continue to do what we do. So thank you so much. We will see you next month on the Nerdiest After Show or next time on the main show. So thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you next month to talk about Nope. And until then, bye.